Hi, fourth graders, welcome to our math class. Today we're going to continue learning fractions. And last time we learned how to add two like fractions, and today we're going to learn how to subtract two like fractions. So before we start, we're going to review our previous lesson first. As we have mentioned, when we're adding or subtracting two fractions, we need to make sure that they have the same denominator. So let's check number 3 together. For number 3, we have the same denominator of 8. So we don't need to change, or we don't need to synchronize the denominator, but just take it and write it down. And now all we need to care about is the two top numbers, and we are going to add them, and this will give us 3 out of 8. And same for number 8. We know that they have the same denominator of 12, so I'm going to write down 12 here, and we're going to add the two top numbers, which is 9. However, this addition is a little different because we need to keep it in the lowest term. So I'm going to divide with the greatest multiple or factor. So I'm going to divide 9 by 3 and 12 by 3 too. When we're putting it in a lowest term, we need to make sure that we're dividing the same number. And we can't divide top number by 3 and bottom number by 6 because they're not equal. And then we're going to find out the answer, which is 3 over 4. Some people may ask me, oh, Miss Kim, why can't I divide 9 by 2 and 12 by 2? When we're dividing the two numbers by 2, we can do it with number 12 because this is even number and divisible by 2. However, 9 is different because this is an odd number which cannot be divided by 2. And even if we can divide by 2, this does not give us the whole number. So we are going to find the lowest, the greatest common multiple, and that's 3. So that's why we're dividing top and bottom with 3 with the same number. So now we know how to do additions. Let's move down to subtraction. So subtraction is exactly the same, just that it's the other way around. For number 1, first thing that we need to check is that they have the same denominator, and it has the same denominator of 3. So I'm going to keep my 3 here, and now I'm going to take away 1 from 2, which is 1. Let's do number 10 together. They have the same denominator of 10, so keep it as it is and take out the small number from a big number, which is 3. So I want you to do number 1 through 5 on your own, and we're going to do number 6 together. So we know that they have the same denominator, and then they took out the small number from big number, and this is what we got. However, this question is asking us to put it in lowest term. And because 2 over 6 is not the lowest term, we're going to make it the lowest term. But how? Same as addition, we're going to find the greatest common multiple, and we're going to divide top and bottom, and this is what I got. Okay, then let's do number 8 together. Not 6. The denominator is 10, and I'm going to take away 4 from 8, and this will give me 4 out of 10. However, this is not in lowest term because they are both even number and can be divided by 2. So I'm going to divide my numerator and denominator with the same number, and this will give me 2 out of 5. So number 6 through 14 is the same. Just remember to put it in lowest term. And let's do number 15 together. When we're adding two mixed fractions, we begin with the first whole number. However, subtraction is a little different compared to that, because sometimes this, even though we try to take away, we try to subtract the whole number first, that doesn't really work because we have a greater numerator for the second number. So when we're subtracting to a fraction, we're going to subtract the fraction first. However, we know that even though we have the same denominator, because the second fraction has a greater numerator, we can't take this number from the first numerator. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to make this improper. So step number 1. Make it improper fraction. Oh, my writing is a little too big, so I'm going to resize it. Oh, this is still too big. So that's my number 1. I'm going to make it improper, then take away, then do the subtraction. Then I'm going to rename them if necessary. So let's do this. So let's do this together. So remember the step. Here is my step. So when we're doing number 15, I'm going to make my first fraction improper. So this will be 1. So you can either make both improper or just one proper. But when you're making improper, you need to remember that if you're going to keep the whole number for the second fraction, then you need to keep the same number for first fraction. So what I mean by that, because I'm going to take out this 1 from the first fraction, I'm going to keep my first fraction the 1. I'm going to keep 1, the whole number, for my first fraction. So here is what I'm going to do. So originally my first fraction was 2 and 1/3. This is mixed fraction and it's in lowest term. However, I'm going to change it because I want heavier numerator. So I'm going to take 1 from here and add it with my numerator, which will make it 1, because I took away 1 from here, and I'm going to add 3 with 1, which is 4, and we don't change denominator. And this is step number 1. I made my first fraction improper. Now step number 2, I'm going to subtract. Now take away my second fraction, which is 1 and 2/3. This is my second step. This is my first step. And my answer is 2/3. Because this 1 cancels out, and I just need to keep the denominator the same, and then I just need to take the numerator, and when I take away 2 from 4, I get 2. So this is my final answer. And because this is already in lowest term, I don't need to do renaming. Okay, so my answer is 2/3. So let's do one more question, and I'm going to do number 20. Number 20 is, oh no, let's do number 21 because this looks slightly hard. This one is a little different because we need to take away a mixed fraction from whole number. Then, in order to take this one away, we need to make this what? Improper. It's the same. So this is proper. Well, it's not a fraction. However, this is a whole number. So we need to make this fraction first. So I'm going to take 6 here. And how can I turn it into a fraction? So I'm going to, just like what I did for this question, I'm going to reduce this whole number. Oh, so this might be confusing, so I want you to pay a close attention. What I mean by reducing is I'm going to borrow. Instead of making, well, I'm going to take 1 from this whole number and turn that into a fraction. So look what I did. So instead of writing 6, I'm going to make it 5. And I'm going to keep the denominator the same. And I'm going to write number 12. We know that when we have the same numerator and denominator, this will turn. This fraction will turn 1. This equals to 1. So in total, this will be number 6. And I'm changing and I'm putting my whole number into a fraction so that I can do my second step. So now we know that 6 is equal to 5 and 12 over 12. I'm going to take away this number. Starting from my whole number, 5 take away 3 is 2. And 12 take away 4 is 8. And keep the denominator the same. However, this is not in lowest term, so I'm going to divide top and bottom by 4. You may try 2, however, that would not give you a lowest term, so you might need to divide more. And my final answer is 2 and 2 over 3. For this lesson, you only need to do one page, this page. So please try to do the rest of the questions on your own. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I will always be available through Google Classroom and email. So I hope you enjoy your math homework, and I will see you later.